9 o'clock in the morning, and we are joined by Mr. James. Not the one you're thinking, but a different one. Mr. James, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Jack. I'm good.
All right. For those who do not know, its first name is Carl, right?
Yes, Carl.
It's really close to Carlos. Is it also Carlos?
No.
Oh, okay.
Carl.
We are joined by Carl James this morning. He is the CEO of MPOC, which is the Modern Port Operations Company.
Yes.
For those who don't know all of those big words like me, the new port, right? In the sense, the operator, yeah, the new port. So we are gonna be talking about what's happening at the port. Maybe we touch on some little issues or concerns that people might have publicly, and I'll get some clarity on what's going on. So, how things?
Things are good. The primary reason why I'm here this morning is to speak about the Christmas operations. But first, let me say good morning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, listening public. We're here this morning, as I mentioned, to just give an update and to hopefully address any uncertainties or concerns that people have regarding to the Christmas operations. So, just to bring some information, shed some light, and hopefully, ensure that everyone is properly informed regarding how we go forward with the Christmas operation.
Right. So how do Christmas operations differ from the rest of the year?
Wow. Well, 2025 is unlike any year we've ever seen. November 2025, interestingly enough, had about 65% more containers than we had in 2024. Those are astounding numbers. You're talking about 244. So
as opposed to
146 last year. Well, not containers, TEUs is a 20-foot equivalent.
Right.
So essentially, we had that amount of growth. We normally do not open our additional locations until the start of December.
Mm-hmm.
So at the back end of November, when we saw those numbers start coming, it was like, hey, we need to start, making adjustments.
So you had basically an extra 100 or so containers. As opposed to
20-foot equivalent unit, which could be 50, 40-foot boxes or 120-foot boxes. So it's just to be abundantly clear.
Is that part of the reason why we saw maybe all that backlog and frustration at the port?
It was a major contributing factor. You have to also bear in mind that it's a new location. You're settling in new procedures, new processes, new design, and with this significant increase in cargo, which is essentially numbers that under the old operating design, we would have already spread out into geese, etc. It was a lot, and we had to make maneuvers to reopen geese, reopen Camden Park, because you had so many boxes that in order for us to catch up,
right,
we had to spread the operations out as wide as possible. So this is the first year that we operate in 4 locations as compared to 3. So
4 as in,
remember, we normally have Camden Park, Geest, and the main location in Kingston.
All right, okay.
Right, so now we have all of those plus the new location.
Okay.
So based on the volumes we're having and the way the cargo played out in November, we recognized that we needed to expand a bit more, take on staff, and spread the operations out so that we can accommodate as many customers as possible, as fast as possible. And what I can assure you is that within 1 week of implementing that, we caught up. So when I came into office on Monday,
right,
every box from 2 weeks before open, the only boxes remaining to open were boxes from the prior week, which is considered reasonable.
Okay.
So normally you try to open all the boxes before the next rotation and ship comes the following week, and we have essentially caught up with that. So I'm comfortable that the strategy we put in place is working. So
the concerns that the public might be seeing about the warehouse space not being sufficient, is there any premise? Is there any truth to that?
No. Essentially the warehouses now have 45% more storage capacity than the previous warehouses.
Combined,
yes. The issue is that the majority of these warehouses are racked.
Okay.
So they are not ideally suited for high volume barrel type operations, which need a wider expanse of space. Now, it is not that we did not foresee that we would need more space to expand into for barriers. We have the geese compound which remained available to us, And we already bought an additional warehouse in Kingston with the expectation that if we need to have that space, we can expand into it. It is not necessarily ideal to keep building warehouses on the port where essentially we want to be doing terminal operations in terms of receiving cargo from the ship to
Right.
process outwards. The more warehouses you have, the less capacity you have on the waterfront. So we already started purchasing warehouses outside of the port with the expectation for future expansion.
Okay. So the warehouses in question are not in operation yet. These extra warehouses
No, not as yet, but they will be in time to come.
in time to come. All right. Fair enough. All right. So let me see what other concerns we had at the port.
Right.
I think the warehouse space was the biggest thing.
Right. So while you think about your concerns, right, I'll just run through
Yeah.
a few things,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll tie it off with something extremely positive that the new port has brought, right? So essentially, as I mentioned before, we reopened Camden Park,
Mhm.
the Geese location, and Kingston Uptown are now also processing containers in addition to the existing location.
Okay.
So all of these locations are essentially set up as a one-stop shop, meaning you go to these locations and you do all the transactions. So it's not that you go to Geese, you have your cargo inspected, and you go over to the main compound or elsewhere to do your payment transaction. Each location is a self-sufficient location where you go,
Right.
have your cargo examined, pay your duties and whatever other fees there are, have your cargo loaded, and you could leave.
Okay.
So
How would I know which port I go into?
Right. So when you go to your shipping agent or your consolidator, they would give you the document and they will also inform you which location you go to, whether it's the Geese location, the main
Camden Park or
Kingston or Camden Park location, right? The thing is though, when you come to the modern port operations company, there's a little something that I want to clarify.
Mhm.
Now you could access that location by through McCoy Street, enter the road coming
Yeah.
to the port.
Mhm.
You could exit at Hillsborough Street or at Melville Street. You could enter and exit at Melville. Now, when you enter at McCoy Street, half the
For
way
those
up
who
the
don't know,
road,
that's at the end of the
yeah,
street with
down at
Miss
Black
Brewster.
Cat Bar next to
Right.
North River Road, right? So when you are on that road, about half the way up, you will see a little parking lot in front of a warehouse.
Okay.
That is where personal effects would be dealt with. That is the boxes and barrels coming to persons who imported it for Christmas. If you're a commercial cargo and you're doing an entry,
Mhm.
then you have to go further up the stretch to the main admin building, and the transactions are processed in the entry space in that location. So what we did is that we have separation of functions. So that would help to expedite it. Because as a commercial customer, you don't want to go and try to clear your cargo and then you're in a queue with persons who are there for personal effects, and you want to have a efficient turnaround to get the stuff back on your
Right.
supermarket flow, etc. So we implemented that separation of activity of cargo so that we could accommodate each demographic of customer based on their specific terms.
Right. Okay.
And is there clear signage of this at the fences? Because I noticed the whole property is fenced off nicely. So being that there's two separate points of entry for these customers, is there a sign that says personal items, barrels,
Jenny.
boxes, etc. at that point, and then higher up?
Yes, there's clear signage.
Okay,
yes.
good, thank you.
And
We don't read anyways.
Just for the general public now.
Just
Yeah,
joking.
we did a fair bit of stakeholder engagement coming into this. So the commercial customers didn't know for certain where the commercial activities take place.
Nice.
One of the things we're also going to do is we're going to run extended hours. So from Thursday, the 18th of December, we go 4 to 6. Friday, the 19th, also 4 to 6. Saturday, 20th, we go 1 to 4. The
4 to 6 as in 4 in the morning.
no, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Sorry.
Oh.
Just
Yeah,
to be
because I
clear.
was like,
I was like,
are you coming walk real on?
No, I said extended hours.
oh, okay. So you're going until 6.
Yeah, we're going later in the evening.
Okay.
From
we-
4 in the
from-
evening to 6.
But
Yes.
you open what at 8?
Yes.
Okay.
So we also do that on Monday the 22nd, Tuesday the 23rd, and on Wednesday the 24th of December we close at 1, and Wednesday the 31st of December we also close at 1. Bearing in mind
Oh, yeah,
that
the
these are
Yeah, playhouse.
Well,
Christmas Eve.
well, you see, the thing is, we try to be as accommodating as possible. So
Mhm.
essentially, if you are there and it goes a little beyond 6, we'll try to be accommodating. And as we get into these dates, get closer. If we need to go, let's say to 4:30 or quarter to 5 on any given day to accommodate customers, once we have the full support and cooperation of customs, we will. Because you have to appreciate it's not just that report, make a decision and say, I'm doing this.
Right.
We
It's two
coordinate
separate
and-
entities.
Right. We coordinate with customs. We are buying an agreements and we operate accordingly. So we do our best to try to be as accommodating as possible. And if you have any questions, any concerns, you could reach us at 456-7678.
Okay.
I'll repeat that, 456-7678.
Okay.
So Christmas operations, we saw the volumes, we understand the need to get your cargo expeditiously.
Yeah.
And we think we would have responded appropriately. Now, what I would like to do is to encourage the listening public to come as soon as you are notified. You have to recognize that we have a lot of persons in St. Vincent who are dependent on these barriers for them to have, a Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, probably toys for the kids, the grandkids, etc. And if you are not expeditious in retrieving a cargo,
Mhm.
you could then slow up the process and deny somebody else the opportunity to have access to the cargo before.
'Cause
So
it's a
once,
backlog.
right.
Yeah.
So once you're notified, please come as soon as possible.
Come for your Irish Spring.
Yes, man. Get your stuff, clear up the space, and let me open more containers and make as many persons as possible happy this Christmas.
Okay, so one of the concerns I've been seeing over the years as a person who imports a lot of barrels myself and people on the live,
You do a lot of barrels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
What are you doing?
personal items.
First,
Yeah, personal items.
Personal.
personal items, right.
Personal items. What has been done to boost the morale of the customs officers who tend to drag their feet in inspection of goods and to get people in and out of the Has there been, I know you said y'all have agreements with extended hours, but has there been anything done to inspire the staff
Yeah.
to have a little bit of promptness?
There is.
I could tell you what we did at the port.
Right.
I would
You
not
can't
be able
talk
to
for customs.
speak, on customs behalf. They would have to
Okay.
essentially
So
answer
what
that
about
for
the
you.
port workers?
Improve conditions. We recently did a HR review where persons, most
Yeah, the agreements.
employees would have gotten a reasonable increase in salary, and I mean some salary
Wow.
scale shifted.
Let me know what this is so I could use it.
It was 1 year retroactive.
Wow.
So I know there were a fair bit of persons, about 85% to 90% of persons by my estimation,
Mhm.
and from feedback were extremely exuberant. There were some persons who were, probably not as exuberant, because what we did is not that we just head take our money, we raise in a salary.
Mhm.
What we did a benchmarking exercise where we look at local and regional comparatives and essentially try to place the port in a more competitive salary scale so that we could, attract and retain more competent persons.
All right.
So essentially, some persons might have the expectation that, my salary scale going to jump by, 30%, and you might see somebody else's salary scale jump by 20 and yours jump by 10. So, I mean, there are one or two small
Yeah.
groups, but essentially, it was not a situation where we said just hell up money. It was a situation where we wanted to ensure
Mhm.
that we were fair
Yes.
in our compensation to the staff
is a lot
and
of work.
pay them
Yeah.
at fair market rate using local and regional
I know it can't
comparatives.
possibly be easy working in the port. So, I mean, it should be no with the new equipment and whatever, but it's still a lot of work.
Yes, it's still a lot of work, a lot of manual labor. And before Jagger, we talked about the issues. I'm gonna tell you one exceptional benefit that's coming from the new port.
Tell us.
Having the 2 keys and all this open space as compared to the congested situation we were in Camden Park,
Mhm.
you're seeing a significant increase in vessel productivity, right? I remember the last time I was
And the two
Luke,
keys being the cranes? What are you talking
no,
about?
the 2 berths that the ship could come
Right.
alongside simultaneously.
Okay, right.
Right. So I remember I mentioned to Luke about cost cutting because of reduced operations costs and handling and that sort of thing. So when a ship comes in and would normally spend 20 hours, you're seeing these ships now spending 14, 15 hours.
Right.
In the shipping industry and in logistics, that's significant because
Yeah.
a lot of these ships run between $600 to $1,200 US per hour is not joke money. So the productivity has been so encouraging to some lines that persons are now looking to engage us in conversations regarding transshipment or having a hub type operation. So
That's amazing.
So the previous administration was right.
The terminal performance at this point is excellent, and we want to continue to improve and make it exceptional.
Okay.
We acknowledge that yes, the warehouse still have a little bit of refinement and improvement. And I mean, we normally we take licks, we lick the wrongs, and we continuously try to improve. But on the terminal side, we're doing exceptionally well, and we intend to continue to improve and be even better.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Mr. James, the CEO of the Modern Port Operations Company. We're gonna hear from you again, I'm sure. So until next time, have a good one.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Amidst the shells, the sounds, the excitement of the season. Find joy. Give joy this Christmas. Only with Hot 97.1. 7.1.